That was really dangerous. I'm Joseph. This is Input English. Today I have a story for you, and of course this is one of many stories on this channel that has been created for you as comprehensible input. Comprehensible input is arguably the best way to improve your English language skills. As you enjoy these stories, the language grows in your mind. If you're new to comprehensible input, this channel has a lot of videos that explain how comprehensible input works. So let's get started with our story. Today we're going to join Craig and Trevor. These two boys are friends, and they're very different. They're both 11 years old, and they're both in the 6th grade, so they go to middle school. They're too young to drive a car, so they get around on bicycles. Their families trust them to stay near to home. It is routine for them to ride their bicycles in the park, which is relatively close to their homes. We find Craig and Trevor together on a beautiful spring-like day on a Saturday morning, much like this one. The sky is blue and the air is cool but not cold. There are no clouds in the sky. These two boys want to entertain themselves, and so they've decided to go to the park and ride their bikes. I've told you that Craig and Trevor are very different. Craig likes things to be fairly calm and relaxed. He doesn't like a lot of excitement. He's a very kind young boy. Trevor likes excitement. He likes to stir things up. He's willing to break the rules if he thinks it will amuse him. Of the two, Trevor is much more likely to get into trouble. And in fact, Trevor has gotten these two boys in trouble in the past. On this day, Craig would like to ride bicycles in a very relaxed way and talk. But Trevor wants to race. Now, the park has a multi-purpose path in the park. It is paved and it has a painted line down the middle of the pavement. It winds around the lake and it's very long. It is used for multiple things. People walk on it. People run on it. People ride skateboards on it. Some people use their roller skates on it. And of course, people ride their bicycles on it. So this is a multi-use path. The two boys are in the park relatively early on the Saturday morning, so there are not a lot of people. Trevor explained that they were going to race, and before Craig could issue his misgivings, Trevor turned and said, "Catch me if you can," jumped on his bike and took off. With that, Craig got on his bike and was in pursuit. The two of them accelerated along the path. Where they started, the path was very straight, and so they could get up quite a bit of speed, pedaling hard. Craig started catching up with Trevor, but his mind was racing because he knew they were on a straightaway and they were going very fast. He knew that they would come to some curves and he would have to slow down. Trevor was also aware of the upcoming curves, but he figured he could use those curves to his advantage because he knew that Craig was a little more timid, and so he would slow down. Trevor could increase his lead by keeping his speed up through the curves. So while Craig slowed down coming to the curves, Trevor speeded up. Ahead of them, the path went between two very large bushes, so their view of the path ahead of them was obstructed by these large bushes. And on the other side of the bushes, the path turned sharply to the left. It hooked around the big bush on the left. Trevor made that turn at high speed. About halfway around that curve, Trevor looked in front of him and saw an old lady on the path directly ahead of him, roughly in the center of the path. She was not off to one side. She was walking slowly with a walker. That is, she had an aluminum frame with handles that she was advancing because she needed that for support. She was not steady on her feet and she needed to use a walker to walk. This all happened in an instant. Trevor realized that he was about to collide with an old lady. So he swerved to the right and applied his brakes. That resulted in loss of control of the bike because he was going way too fast. When his tire skidded and turned to the right, it hit the grass and the dirt, and it was knocked hard to the right, and that resulted in the wheel bending, and now the front wheel would no longer turn. What that meant is that Trevor's bicycle decelerated very dramatically. Trevor flew over the handlebars. Both Trevor and his bike flew through the air and landed on the grass next to the path. They missed the lady on the walker by inches. After Trevor landed, he noticed that he was uninjured. He had grass stains on his clothes and his hands, but nothing hurt. He was apparently uninjured. The front wheel of his bicycle was bent at an angle. That wheel would never work again. It would need to be replaced. Trevor was mostly interested in the fact that he was not injured, but his bike was destroyed. About this time, Craig arrived on the scene and he went to the old lady and asked if she was okay. She was very upset. She was very scared and her face was red. Craig asked if she had been injured and she said, "No, he just scared me. I thought I was going to die." Craig put his bicycle down and helped her to a park bench that was nearby. He asked her if she wanted him to get some help for her. She said, "No, I'll be okay. I didn't get hurt. I just got really scared. I'll be okay. I'm just going to sit here a few minutes." Craig was satisfied that she was unhurt, so he went over to Trevor to see what had happened with him. Trevor was unhurt. He did have grass stains on his clothes, and his bicycle would not work well enough to ride home. Craig didn't ask if Trevor was okay. He knew Trevor well enough to know that if Trevor was hurt, he would have already announced it. Trevor would not have missed an opportunity to showcase how he'd been hurt. So instead of asking Trevor if he was okay, Craig said, "That was really dangerous. You could have killed her." Now, Trevor disagreed. He said, "You can't kill a lady with a bicycle. I wasn't driving a car." Craig disagreed. He said, "No, you could kill her. She's an old lady. She's very frail, and you were going very fast. If you would have hit her, you would have knocked her down, and she probably would have broken something. You might have killed her." Trevor didn't know whether to argue or just look at his feet. He chose the latter. He looked down at his feet and scuffed them on the grass. He then said, "Oh, she'll be all right." Craig said, "She'll be all right because you didn't actually hit her, but you could have killed her." You know, Trevor, you get us in a lot of trouble. You take a lot of risks. You need to change your ways. You didn't have to break Mr. Harper's window with your slingshot. You didn't have to set the field on fire. You did that on purpose. You get us into trouble. You've been able to get out of that trouble, but you watch out, you're going to wind up in jail. Now, Trevor felt he had the high ground here in this conversation. He turned and said, "No, they don't send kids to jail." It was now time for Craig, to disabuse him of that misunderstanding, Craig said, they actually send him to juvie. You don't want to go to juvie. Trevor had heard that term, but the puzzlement on his face suggested there was an explanation needed. Craig said, you know, juvie, where they send kids instead of jail. You don't want to go to juvie. Now, juvie is a slang term for a juvenile detention center or a juvenile detention facility, and most states in the United States have such facilities. They're not large prisons, and they don't have a prison atmosphere. After all, these are children that are in these facilities, but they are a form of incarceration, and they're not a great place for a young boy to go. During this part of the conversation, Trevor was mostly trying to figure out how to get his bicycle home. He couldn't ride it, so he picked it up and felt that it was too heavy. Then he went in front of it and picked it up by the bent wheel, holding the wheel sideways, and realized that it wasn't very heavy. Most of the weight was on the rear wheel, which was on the ground. He turned around and reached behind himself with both hands, and behind himself he gripped the rim of the bent wheel. He took a few steps and found that the bicycle followed him closely like a small dog. He was satisfied that this would be the way he would get his broken bicycle home. With that, he turned, pulling his bicycle, and headed off to home with the expectation that Craig would come with him. Craig did come with him, and he pushed his bicycle as the two boys walked side by side across the park directly toward their homes. For a while, they did not speak. And then Craig said, you know, you need to think about what you did today. You need to change the way you do things, because you're going to wind up getting in a lot of trouble. If you'd have been driving a car with that attitude, you would have definitely killed someone. And then you wouldn't be in juvie. If you were an adult, you'd be in jail. Trevor didn't say anything. Craig got on his bike and said, I'll see you in a couple of days. And then he rode his bicycle away, leaving Trevor to drag his bicycle home and explain to his parents some story of how his bicycle was severely damaged. I invite comments below, and if you like videos like this, be sure to click on this one next. See you soon.